Echo Fox has been surprising me a lot too. Their jungler Acadian has been playing extremely well recently, and they've been playing really niche picks like Swain top, Anivia mid, and because I guess they don't scrim with any of the other teams, they just make their own meta, and I think it's gonna be an interesting series playing against them because I don't know what they're going to prioritize in the pick ban phase or how they're gonna play in game.
Well, Totoro's right. It is looking a little tough. Welcome back to the North American LCS as the teams are readying up on stage for round 2 between TSM and Echo Fox. And like we heard, the weird picks have been there, but didn't really need them this time unless you want to include the Singe, because that was just clean early game snowballing.
Oh, yeah. Echo Fox looked ridiculous that game. They were super good at snowballing. It took a little while to actually get off the ground, but once they did, actually looked really, really clean. I think there's only a few things you could actually point at and be like, that was a big mistake, but nothing really to cost them even close to the game because they just had such a dominant performance.
And it was good to see them kind of moving around together, transitioning much better out of their strong early game into some of those advantages. But you look on the other side there for TSM, we know they're good at getting themselves back into games where they are behind, and they haven't had the strongest early games this split, but usually it's on the back of Bjergsen, who had an atypically poor performance.
Yeah, that was actually Bjergsen's lowest damage game for this split so far. So he was pretty invisible. His shockwaves were never really large, and he was just kind of destroyed by Froggen and the crew. Like, everybody showed up, made it so his first blood on him, and then he wasn't able to really get back into the game. Froggen said, he beat TSM. Maybe that's happening.
Maybe the even weeks will hold true here for Echo Fox. Well, we'll find out as we are going to move ourselves shortly into game number 2. But I think Bjergsen having such low damage numbers, very few shockwaves you can remember from the game, isn't just Bjergsen's fault. It's actually just a product of how well Echo Fox were playing.
Yeah, I think Echo Fox were doing a really good job of paying attention to where Bjergsen was, focusing him in a lot of the team fights. You saw Gate would flash in, Looper would fling Bjergsen in, because that's the thing is when I was talking about frontline versus a diver, like Singed is kind of a frontline diver. It's really different. He's a disruptor for the backline. So he runs straight at these champions like Orianna, and it's the other people on the team's job to peel for him because the Orianna wants to shockwave, not a Singed. Like, that doesn't work to actually win you a team fight. You want to hit those 4 other squishies. But Looper is just causing so much mayhem in the backline that strategy really doesn't work without him playing that well on Singe.
And he had a fantastic Singe game, landing just fine, proxying the waves, kind of doing what Singe is known for, and of course Looper is a highly proficient Singe player. I think what we should give him extra credit for, despite how good a game Acadian also had, as you can see on your screen, I think reaping a lot of the benefits that Looper was creating, is that Looper's coordination with his team looked almost the best we've seen it all split, because that was our biggest criticism of Looper, just wasn't on the same page as their team, and it seems like week after week they're building on that communication.
Yeah, you look at the way that he was playing the Singed and in the backline, that doesn't work if the team is like, all right, we're half HP, we're bailing. It's like the Singe just slowly dies a painful death, but everybody was collapsing, and as soon as they would as TSM would focus down, oh god, Lord Froggen's talking, I can't interrupt him. Still, as soon as they would, TSM would focus down the Singed, Echo Fox would start advancing again. They would start moving forward. So the coordination, the communication like you're talking about seems to be clicking into place for Echo Fox.
And I think the thing to watch for them, as you can see, the rest of TSM are returning to their seats. Once are going to sit back down. We'll need to refocus. Didn't have a particularly tough lane, but yeah, TSM, a team that is known for this, been in the situation a lot of times already. They've lost a lot of game 1s in this year already. So again, not unfamiliar situation. For Echo Fox, when you're ahead, it's usually much easier to look good. Shot calling's easier from ahead. You can make riskier plays as a team. You can afford to beat Looper, who's got this huge lead as this big tanky Singe, and run in and look a little reckless with the way you're playing. If they fall behind, and that hasn't happened very often, to be fair, for Echo Fox, it'll be interesting to see if that changes. Is Looper significantly more disconnected when the team's not as ahead? And I think that'll be something to track in this game if it happens, and certainly throughout the season.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point, because they've had those dominant leads. What does this team look like when they're behind? Do they just roll over, or are they a team that keeps throwing themselves at you to try and get an advantage back? Are they a proactive team when behind? Do they feel desperate? I feel like depending on the pick that they're on for Froggen, that would really dictate it. If he's on Anivia or Gangplank, we've seen historically it's stall the game out until Froggen hits a power spike. And that'd be interesting if that is still the case on a team that has Acadian and Looper on it.
And I think the other thing is we've given the top side of the map a lot of credit in general for Echo Fox. Acadian's looked great. Froggen's looked good, particularly behind him. And Looper's starting to clean his play up. Certainly looked at that in this game. Bottom lane actually played really well for Echo Fox this game.
Like, Gate has actually been a silent performer for this team.
Agree.
And you know, a lot of people will be like, oh, Keith, you know, he's not doing too well. But Gate, I think, has been a big part of this bottom lane. I think Keith is actually stepping up as well. We saw that they actually got a 2-on-2 kill in the bottom lane off of Gate harassing, Keith following up with a level 6 power spike, immediately using the ultimate after ranking it up. He got chunked out of lane early. Mistake there that could have cost them, but they're able to get themselves back in.
And Keith, on point roaming with his team. W's were very accurate, using his ultimates intelligently and correctly. Just really cleaned up a lot of the play. And sure, again, when you're ahead on a champion like Jin, it is pretty easy to look good. But Keith, a much better game than we've seen, and that's great news in general for Echo Fox. But throw it all out the window. We'll reset it. TSM versus Echo Fox. The only thing we're not taking away is the match score there for Echo Fox. 1-0 up in the series. Kazakhstan from TSM on the blue side. Ivan from Echo Fox on the red side, and already we have a divergence.
Yeah, we've seen some teams actually just go away from banning the red side OPs. I think you still probably take away LeBlanc, and now Rengar and Camille still on the table. And TSM, if they ban one, then Echo Fox will ban the other. But then Ryze is still left up, Varus is still left up. And you see what happens. And TSM now actually really have to think about this ban.
Actually took Tom Kensho as their second one. That's going to support Gate has shown up on quite a number of games. So I kind of like that. A pretty specific ban, but I think certainly a strong ban versus Echo Fox.
Yeah, especially like if you wanted to play like a Malzahar or something. And so they're going to ban the Rengar, which will probably prompt Echo Fox to ban the Camille. They've already seen Hanser play it against Darshan. We know that he plays the champion. You can't leave it up.
No, and they ban it away. So kind of interesting to see TSM forced to ban away Rengar here, but Echo Fox kind of get quote-unquote free ban out of the deal. And they're going to take Ivern away.
Exactly, they get to take the Ivern away. That leaves Ryze up, which we've seen Bjergsen actually make some great highlight plays on it. That leaves Varus on the table. Jungle is slightly pinched, though, with 3 junglers taken away, so I expect them to also go in the first round here, but I think the priority picks still hold true.
Yep, Varus is, I think, the most first pickable champion often left open, so TSM will continue to prioritize that. Total did have a decent-looking game, and the laning phase was looking good, but again, TSM fell behind as a team that game, so individually it's hard to blame anyone too hard. Echo Fox, though, where are they going with their first few picks here? You mentioned jungle, kind of an obvious candidate for an early pick here. See what happens for the first one.
Yeah. Malzahar and Graves, I would assume, would be the 2 picks here as pickups, unless they want to take Jin early on and then wait to see if the Ryze comes out. So this, I would assume, is a Graves, a Ryze, or a Jin.
Well, I think Graves and Ryze make a little more sense, although Jin is good. Probably can get it for their 3rd pick here in this phase. But I think maybe the deliberation right now is do take Ryze. You know, is Roggen comfortable playing against? So they actually take Jin. So I'm wrong. Well done, Zyrene.
Yeah, it's because, you know, if you what happens with the jungle pool, or what happens with the AD carry pool, if you let it fall through, they could take Ryze, and then you're like, okay, we have to take, if you take your jungler here as Echo Fox, if they take Ryze, you either take Cassiopeia or you take an AD carry, and then they ban either 2 AD carries or they ban away the counters to Ryze. So you have to pick one thing here.
Makes sense. There's Zyra and Shen actually from TSM, so mirroring the bottom lane and taking a top laner. We'll see if Echo Fox feel compelled to take a top laner themselves, or if they want to take maybe in their mind a higher priority pick, like something like the Ryze or even the jungle, taking Graves for themselves.
Yeah, jungle or
Corki.
Yeah, that's the interesting thing, is that the Corki coming out here, and then they pinch mid lane, I would think, because you pick your jungler, or you think TSM's going to pinch jungle. So I think TSM would pinch top lane, though. Jace, I think, would probably get banned away. Maybe Maokai, but I think you want to play into Maokai as Shen.
And there's the Ryze ban, of course, for Echo Fox, so that all makes sense. Maokai banned away. He's a very good team fighting tank, so even though the lane matchup's pretty neutral, wanted to take that off of Lupa's hands.
Oh, man. This is where you scratch your head and you go like, okay, is Singed really good into Shen? Okay, is Swain really good into Shen? It's like, Looper pool. Did we play against this in scrims? No.
Ban Singed. Get out of the way, maybe. Echo Fox actually banned Zed. Just kind of cool to see. Bjergsen, of course, pretty good on that champion, as it turns out. Recent highlights still showing that despite some changes, Bjergsen and his Zed is very deadly. But what's TSM's final ban? It is going to be Singed, which I think is a very necessary respect ban.
Oh, yeah. Looper was able to dominate the top lane and get roaming, and that's the thing, is his scoreline won't look that great, but if you just watch the map and what he's doing, and not just always what he's doing, it's when he's doing it relative to what his team is doing, it's just really good.
Well, there's Graves for Echo Fox, so going to take that jungler away. Kind of interesting to see Jace come out there. So TSM going to take one of the other marksman mid laners that's been seeing some play. Now, Svenskan is having his pool pretty narrowed here. We'll see what jungle he wants to fall to. But I think a lot of top-tier junglers have been taken away in this draft, so Graves and Lee Sin a little lower on those lists, and they'll be the junglers for this game.
Yep. Lee Sin coming through, thinking about how good it'll be here. He'll have to get some kickbacks. Those are a lot of really squishy members. I like the Poppy as the last pick there. Stops the Shadow Dash, can stop the Jace from getting in, can also stop the Lee Sin from getting a kickback, which looks like the win condition for TSM is to actually get a kickback or just poke them down. I think that's actually, I'll take that back. TSM, they have engage options, but I think like they just want to poke. They just want to throw a whole bunch of damage at people under turrets.
Yep, they've got a good split pushing top laner as well for that. So TSM may be looking to play a little bit more conservative, a bit more of that macro style they've shown off. And again, the aggression's been waning for them. We'll see if Echo Fox can be just as turbo on their game in this particular one, or if TSM have kind of found the formula to slowing Echo Fox down, because that does seem to be the #1 thing versus Echo Fox. Doesn't really matter what champions they get, and they do pick very uniquely for themselves as a team, although this draft's looking a little more standard. Just find a way to stop them. I think the analyst has said it best, like, just don't give Arcadian first blood. Find a way to halt some of that momentum and play a slower game.
Yeah, that's actually true. What happens if you just, trip them a little bit? Go for the feet, sweep them out from under them, and see what happens to Echo Fox afterwards if they can regain their balance. Haven't been tested just yet.
Well, have not, but you can see the comps there on your screen. TSM going into the series down a game. Again, not an uncommon occurrence this particular season. But we'll have to find out. Very curious to see how Bjergsen can do on kind of a mid lane that's rising in popularity. We've seen Corki been popular thanks to High mostly, at least in NA, throughout the season so far. Jace could have considered a strong top lane pick with those lethality changes, but maybe finding a more suitable home in mid lane.
Yep. And then it's an all physical damage team, though, so you have to watch out for Looper. But also what happens with Biofrost, and if he can get off the ground, because then he's there, mixed damage.
Well, we'll have to find out here. Game 2 between TSM and Echo Fox is now officially underway. Echo Fox looking for a sweep versus TSM, which would be mightily impressive.
Even weeks.
If you told me that last year Echo Fox would sweep TSM in 2017, I would have called you crazy. And that's a possibility here after what we've seen from game 1, and a very real one at that.
Oh yeah, because it was the number 10 team versus the number 1 team. Echo Fox ended up in last place, and then TSM first. So I would call you crazy with inverse record.
And look, Echo Fox doing much better this season already, and I think a lot of games like the last one is proof of that. But it's not like they're completely taking over the standings either. They're doing very well, but they're climbing right now. So beating TSM not only is good for like morale for the team, but also for their standings as they're trying to really climb up to the top.
If games ended at 20 minutes and the other team, whoever had the
Echo Fox will be undefeated.
deficit, had to surrender, Echo Fox would be the best team in the league. So those last few parts, but that's honestly what you would want to work with as a coach. You would just be like, this team just can't seem to end the game. Well, they're getting those leads, which is honestly one of the hardest parts of League of Legends, is getting those leads, and people will usually find the easiest thing is closing out once you have it.
We'll see what happens here in this one. Biofrost and Wild Turtle playing back. Don't want to face check Malzahar and his Void Links. Fenskaren going to bop himself over the wall. See if his Lee Sin, which has shown up in many a game, can get work done here. He's going to get some help from Ponsa. Luby's going to do the same for Arcadian. So same side starts here for these junglers. Pretty standard. Making sure the top laner can help out. But Graves pretty quick through the jungle. We'll see what Arcadian can get done. And he was playing this champion kind of before it came into vogue recently. From week 1 or week 2, I think, he was showing up on this as well.
Yeah, it's a fantastic pick, especially for him and being so aggressive. Also, his route makes it so he takes no damage. Doesn't really have to use any potions either. I'm actually interested to see if any adaptation occurs where a Graves gets like a control ward early on level 1 instead of the refillable control ward and a potion. But refillable does come in handy when you do get in a skirmish instead of just having to back and getting destroyed, which is one of the reasons that people take longsword 3 pots. Oh, level 2 for both teams.
Heavy trading. Ooh, good snare dodge from Biofrost. Has been on point with his dodges, though. Unfortunately, can't really run away from the Voidlings.
Yeah.
Kate gonna take big trade damage back, though.
And this is just a great combo in the bot lane. The Jhin alongside the Malzahar. Hold on. Hey.
Ian's caught Svenskaren. Sven's like, oh, I'm kind of trapped here. Gonna try and fight the Graves, but usually pretty tricky. 1v1 jungle combat. Who's gonna win? Lands up the wall. Jhin gonna disrupt it. Gate in there, though. Arcadian! Oh, he gets it again almost. Participation for first blood.
Doesn't matter. 14 out of 20 of the first bloods for Fox have been Acadian. Getting an assist or kill on it. That's ridiculous.
And now Looper maybe getting 1v1. Haunts with a good little trade. building up the wave nicely. Looper gonna have to play under that turret. Looks like Haunter Shen has been on point once again. Bjergsen, they're getting pushed in still by Froggen. Good shock blast to get some damage traded back. Now Bjergsen wants in, he's going aggressive.
Froggen's making it look good because Acadian's off on the right side and counter jungling. So he didn't have to blow any summoners there, but he knew that Acadian would be able to back him up if Bjergsen hard committed to it.
Good damage back as we'll watch this one again. Sven just kind of got caught. He was like, oh, I have to fight.
Yeah, and this is where they're like thinking about it, but he's right up in Acadian's face. Graves does more damage the closer you are to him, gets the Q on the wall, has to flash the W because the bottom lane actually had the inside track from Echo Fox.
Good play there as Gates visiting mid lane at level 2.
Double buffs Malzahar, get out of here.
What a jerk.
He's gonna zone him off from here too. He's like, nope, walk around, Bjergsen.
Bjergsen's like, fine, I'll just try and kill you. Gates like, fine, I'll just try and kill you. And Bjergsen's like, that's 5 of you and 1 of me. That's a little unfair.
I actually think about the times that Bjergsen played against Malzahar. He actually usually gets destroyed by it. The time that Phoenix 1 beat TSM, Game 3, it was Malzahar for Pyrian, and the Voidlings actually killed both Bjergsen and Svenskeren. It's like, this guy, he's really aggressive. He doesn't respect the Voidlings, but right there, he's just saying, I need that CS. I have to walk forward. And so he takes all that damage and backs, but gave Froggen a little bit of a better back timer.
Yeah, good play from Gate, honestly, as well. Just doing what he can with the buffs, knowing that Keith is kind of safe down bottom lane for now. Acadian, though, visiting top side, looking for second blood as well. He knows Haunts has been aggressive in this lane, but Sven could be right behind him.
Yep. And if the Poppy can actually get in, he can stop the Shadow Dash with the W. Stop it. Oh, revealed.
Nice
Good
plant
spot.
usage there, and Acadian's just going to give up the potential gank. See if maybe Acadian wraps around again, or if he fancies the visit down. Sven is going to have to reveal his position a little there, using that plant. It's Looper onto Haunter. With the space that Acadian did kind of create for him there, able to get a positive trade for himself.
Yeah, and the grasp as well for the Poppy, trading back and forth, getting a little bit better of them. Despite having a corrupting potion to a Doran shield and not even having any potions used out of Haunter, Haunter's gonna start winning these trades actually.
Looper doing well so far, getting the lane pushed in as best he can. Bifrost and Gate gonna match up once more. So now gonna get dodged. Bifrost has been on point, dodging his Jin Ws, but unfortunately the damage is sticking as well. There's Acadian and Svenskeren maybe up for round 2. Svenskeren's like, nope.
Yeah, he's like,
I don't like this at all.
no flash, no good.
You know, after that he tapped in chat, he's like, come on, man. That was a 1v1.
Yeah.
Why do this to me?
Why Gate, why?
Once again, a TP back to lane. Barmy Cinder, refillable pot purchased up. Looper with the same, actually already used his teleport, so top lane is just going to get back to lane ASAP.
Yep, but Stand United available for Haunter. Also, the Shen starts getting a little bit of the better of these matchups at this point with the pass-through damage and the extra auto attack speed and all that. It's kind of strange. Like before, I'm like, oh, you know, Haunter's gonna start winning these trades as he's losing a trade, but it's because he has the Doran shield and effective combat stats. Looper had no more potions left, so now it just kind of resets. You go back to trading for a bit. Haunter even got his own refillable to try and match, and then it just comes down to the trades with pass-through of the Q for Haunter.
Fox are actually getting recalls in the other lanes as well as Acadian. Busy jungling. Level 4 right now. Sven actually upper level, so I think after that initial scuffle, it's just been power farming through, making sure nothing goes wrong. And Turtle and Bifrost still getting pushed in here 2v2, but Tyr stacking up. He's got the early Serrated Dirk. Actually, both marksmen will have that now. Looper trying to trade with Haunter, but good block on the shield there with Spirit's Refuge. And kind of a fun matchup to watch. It's a lot of little interactions, but for the most part, nobody dies.
Welcome to top lane.
That's top lane. You have to do every little thing right and then nothing happens.
That's a wrong move.
That is. Good slam there from Looper, getting him into the wall. That wall always gets people versus Poppy.
It does. It really does, because anybody's just... Because when you're walking away from the turret, you'll usually walk towards that wall.
Red side Poppy, dude.
Red side Poppy, that's it.
So Sven snuck his way in.
Gate?
Oh, hello! Good sneak on a Gate. Turtle gonna try and follow it up. He does have ulti. Gate's gonna flash. Oh, Chain Corruption's gonna miss. The exhaust is down as well. Gonna keep chasing for it. Should be a kill. Turtle! That's his 1000th kill!
There it is! 1,000 kills for Turtle.
Good way to start it off there for Wild Turtle. And now actually more action. Keith gets the flash into his turret, getting Doe there. Sprint, gonna try and take him down. Total 1001, takes the turret hit, heals it up, and now gonna take first turret. TSM looking much better this game.
Yep, 1001 for Turtle, now the NALCS all-time kill leader in the regular season. Wild Turtle coming up huge, 2-0 at the start of this game. And that's gonna be TSM taking that early lead, about 2,000 gold already.
Svenskeren been so much more active. Short, the level 1 seemed like a bit of a misstep in the early stages fighting Arcadian, but this looks good. He's going to donate blue buff over to Bjergsen, stealing that away from Echo Fox's jungle. Arcadian is trading on the other side, so nothing lost there, but Frogger might not get it. They're going to start a Drake as well. TSM trying to take the maximum off this play.
We'll see what happens here on this top side of the map, because Poppy slowly but surely getting that turret. Arcadian is hanging out in this bottom side jungle, though. And Wild Turtle, ooh, didn't get the turret.
Might miss it, actually, because the dual end's coming up for TSM. Drake goes over. TSM looking almost transformed in this game. Turtle here joined up.
Yep, and now Looper having to back up.
Can it creep? Not enough work done. And Bifrost's going to zone him off the wave. Arcadian's here as well,
If
though.
he zones too hard, though, Arcadian exactly comes up. He's going to ward.
Uh-oh.
There he is.
There's the Graves. Red buff. Causing some problems. Turtle's going to stand and fight. Takes the pass-through damage, but whew, that's a bit better poke there, perhaps. Arcadian forced to back away. They're going to go in onto Looper. Stranglethorn's down after the roof. Looper with the flash for Turtle! 1002!
But he's going to count every single one now. But 3 there for Turtle, coming up big. He had a great game yesterday where he was popping off, and I believe he had about 13 kills throughout that series with 1 death. 12 kills, 1 kill, and 6 assists yesterday throughout those 2 games. He was playing quite well. You know, first game wasn't really great to him, but this one coming up big so far.
This is why they waited. Didn't want to take the kill then in game number 1 when things all look pear-shaped. TSM off to a rollicking good start here, looking to take the top outer turret as well. And 2,000 gold ahead of Echo Fox. For the first time in a while, 10 minutes in, Echo Fox are pretty far behind.
Yeah, they usually get that first blood. Got it again, right? Acadian consistent in getting first blood. But it's the revisits, it's the step afterward, that it's not as much of a punish this game as it normally is.
If they lose this turret, could be very positive gold trade there for TSM. Bjergsen and Frogger with their dueling blue buff still farming away, but Svenskeren fancies himself a go here in the top lane, perhaps.
Yep. Stand United almost available. TP's up for both, so we're probably going to see a large dive.
There's the TP. Arcadian's here, but Gates the target. Bifrost's going to look for it. There's the kick in. Should be enough for the kill, and Sven gets it. Has to flash away to safety, but Arcadian chased him down. Keith goes down to Haunter. Crazy no-scope taunt's not enough, though. And now Haunter taking too much damage. Turtle on a rampage for 1003. Turtle still shooting away. Looking for a few more as Bjergsen's roamed up as well. It's a bit of a mess, but it's 2 for 2 for now. Froggen looks for Bjergsen, but just gets poked.
Almost. Haunter there went for the taunt, got dodged and tried to flash to match it. Came back, did actually work out there, but didn't get the kill immediately. Took him a bit.
Poke being traded still by the mid laners, but TSM, I think, get the better end, although good dive. Looper under turret, doesn't care, gonna hit it, needs a couple more. Oh!
There you go.
Slaps it down, gets the gold. And Wild Turtle just gonna run away from that Poppy. Top lane turret holds for Fox as well, so good response to the dive despite it being well-intentioned for TSM.
Yep, Gate, not level 6 yet. Rather close, but gets picked up by Svenskeren there, even through the exhaust, which seemed to be a little bit late. Keith takes a lot of damage, and then Haunter miss taunt. There you go. Haunter hit a taunt.
The no's good, dude.
Took him a bit. There you go, and then Acadian picks up that kill, gets 2 there. And is definitely the person who walks away with the most out of that fight.
Well, turret's now even. See just how keen TSM are to take the turret down. Gonna keep pushing through. You can see already with the early lethality, Varus doing so much damage with that poke.
And looking for a play on the bottom side. Gate actually just roaming by. Has the level 6 now, so he's looking for a pick. We'll see what he does because he has flash and ultimate available. He was a big playmaker in the previous game for Fox as well.
Looper coming down also, so lining up a dive for Echo Fox. Wants to get some vision, knows what's up. Oh no! Gate ults him out of the taunt. And now Looper's here to look to clean it up. Haunter knows he's just going to fight his way out, but Looper's going to move in. Who's going to get the kill? It is, of course, Arcadian.
None other than your boy, Arcadian, coming through, picking up the kills. Going to get this turret as well, but tempo for TSM on the top side. But there are more people for Echo Fox on the bottom, so they might actually be able to outmatch this with the Graves and see what they end up going for, because they're going to test it, they're going to wave clear, they're going to get up to this tier 2. Let's see what happens.
Race could be on here. Total and Bifrost already working with a good wave here on this top lane turret. But Looper at least going to go back. I think Arcadian's staying with the cluster. TSM going to take down another turret. But again, Echo Fox doing a nice job trading and kind of evening the map back up. TSM did kind of have things started early enough, but it's going to be a wash after this one. 3 turrets apiece, and now all of a sudden Echo Fox only about 1,000 gold behind.
Yeah, and you have these long lanes as well, and that's what's going to start happening to this game is Hanser will be able to go down these long lanes, hold, use his globals, maybe out global Looper as well with the double, and start abusing the Shen if TSM do want to go with that route, or they go for some flanks here.
Or a tower dive perhaps. Froggen could be in trouble. Ulti gonna miss from Turtle, gonna package himself out of the way. Poke's still coming in, but Froggen willing to fight. The team's in for reinforcements on the right-hand side as Gate. Queued up by Spencer, and they've got to block the Jin ult. Sven bodyguarding for his team. Good safeguard to kind of minimize that damage. Froggen still firing away, but Turtle firing back.
Yep, he's already got the
So is
Yoma's Ghostblade.
These two, we talked about the poke element of TSM's comp. Oh!
Yeah, it's like, I don't know if there's an acceleration gate coming or not, but he's got to back off.
I couldn't quite see the particle, but Death by a Touch was holding my breath just in case.
Like, oh, what if a lot of Varus actually just take Warlords instead of Deathfire
Makes
Touch?
sense.
It's Jin and Misfortune that usually take the Deathfire Touch.
Froggen is safe for now. Berkson though, looking good here. Good CS lead as well onto Froggen, 20 CS ahead. Turtle also up a healthy amount of CS, actually 30 right now with those 4 kills and the assist with 0 deaths. Turtle on the verge to have a huge carry performance this game. And remember, still panning that lead for as long as he can. Let's see how bad my math is this game. That's what will really be tested.
Oh man, I've been so off on my math a few times the last few days. It's like, never do math on stream.
Still on track. Turtle still shooting away. Haunter and Looper. Good stun there actually. I think Haunter was a bit surprised. But not feeling too threatened on the Shen. Poke again on the Keith. And that's going to be a mid turret. You can see how much work the sieging element of TSM's comp can do, and they feel in very firm control.
Yeah, after champion select, I was like, oh, let's try to do this. I'm like, wait a second, scratch that. This is just a poke comp. They're going to try to get you underneath turrets. Hold on, though. In the bush.
Teleporting in. That's a surprise for Wild Turtle. Oh, it's a disaster. He's been shut down. Vince also taking damage on the other end as Haunter joining in to try and save him. He's on the front side, blocking the rest of the team. Looper ults him up, though, but he taunts himself away. Damage still there. They're going to re-poke it in. Gerkson still with a good, healthy amount of damage.
You have to be wary, though, if you're Echo Fox. Sure, you got the kill, 5-on-4, but it's a poke team. You're going to try to do this Drake, and they're going to try to just poke you down, whittle you down as you're doing it.
Ooh, aggressive commit here from Echo Fox.
Yep.
I'm going to try and start this. Keith ulti. Haunter needs to block these. Bifrost gets tagged by another, dodging a third. Last bullet coming, Fitzgerald!
Yeah, trying to make sure he can't jump in the pit. That's actually really well played there.
Ooh, Drake reset, but it should be enough. They will get the Infernal.
Yep. And the fact that they got Wild Turtle, who's the main poker on the team, Varus is a large percentage of this team damage, allowed Echo Fox to do that. The Jace, they were able to just zone off. His poke is few and far between. But the walk up, the kill onto Turtle, the right target to go for there, even though you had 3 that you could possibly jump on. And Satarian...
Fang getting chased by Froggen. Why would you flash? Auto attack's going to follow him in. Froggen just weaves through the jungle and finds himself a free one.
Yep. Doesn't work since about Season 2, when you could actually flash auto attacks. Would disappear if you flashed and it was in the midair. Eventually changed.
Did he try and flash into a brush? Wasn't quite paying attention. That looks like it would have been warded anyway, so no luck there for Spencer. Wild Turtle though, sitting mid lane. Queuing down waves, feeling good about it. Haunter down the bottom side. Ulti not quite back up yet. It's got just over a minute until he can make that play again. And Bjergsen's actually topside trying to finish off the turret. I believe he got it. He's going to back away now.
Yes.
But a few members of Echo Fox are converging. So, all told, only 1,000 gold up still for TSM. I think if they can hold the siege pattern for as long as possible and take territory objectives that way and continue the poke element of their comp, they are looking good. We'll see how Echo Fox respond a little bit behind. Not hugely, but they're not up to the same lead they were in Game 1. And this will be a good look for them.
Yep. I think they have to worry about Looper, though.
Yep, he's splashing out of Stranglethorns, getting poked by Wild Turtle.
Yeah, the good thing for TSM is they have % HP magic damage from the Varus and his Blighted Quiver, but then from there, it's not really much. They have also the Jace E, so
And
Looper
found him.
kind of free to
Looking
build
forward,
armor.
Kick him in, that's enough with the Tempest. Very nicely played, gets himself snared over the wall though, as he safeguards to a ward. Great pick from TSM.
Yeah, if they can stop Looper from actually getting off the ground and just building 5 armor items, 4 armor items, then they'll be in a really good spot. Because if it gets to the point where Looper can just be in the back line and deal with Turtle, then it's a big problem.
Yeah, that's a good thing to note. There is somewhat of a timer on this game. So TSM need to kind of do as much damage as possible while their comp is in its power point, and they've really hit it here. Oh, turtle caught by ulti, that's not good. He's going to go down again. Gate collects credit for that kill. Spenskeren getting stand united on by Haunter, but that's still damage, and Haunter doesn't make it in time for the channel. Sven goes down. Fox pick up 2 kills.
Yeah, Echo Fox also get mid lane wave, and they'll be able to push this up, deal some damage to this turret. They have double marksman plus the Graves, and so they'll be able to actually deal a lot of damage to it, especially with that Trinity Force. I want to say Froggen and Acadian have been doing work this game again. This combination is just huge right now.
Yeah, Gate also some credit for setting up picks with Malzahar. It's pretty straightforward, but he's been a nice element to the team, catching people out of position while Turtle too far forward there. Yet to add to his kill in a little while. You can just see, we wanted to hit the turret, but needed to be a little more aware.
And this is Gate making the play. Uses the double W, flashes, and then gets the ultimate. That is very fast. Turtle couldn't react to it, had his own flash. I think a QSS should be in the works for him, but I think he wants to get that Edge of Night first. Because if he has Edge of Night there, you pop it. Maybe that doesn't happen unless Gate gets an E on you before the combo. Could delay it and give you enough time to flash.
Certainly a lot safer to siege that way, so TSM gonna have to kind of check themselves next time they're standing in front of a turret, and the gold lead is almost tied up now. Echo Fox only 500 behind. Really done a nice job picking TSM off and getting the gold back. And sure, they're still down 4 turrets to 3, but the longer their structures stay up, the more fun that Looper gets on the Poppy. Now starting to stack up some big ticket armor items. Things only improve for Echo Fox, and sure, they don't get massively bad for TSM. I don't think they get heavily outscaled, but I think they do get outscaled.
At TSM, once you have somebody who can just absorb your shock blasts, you're much less effective. The arrow from Beersalon.
Stranglethorn's gonna knock him up into the kick. That was stylish. Spenskeren with a shutdown.
Yep, gets another kill there. Oh, missed Chain of Corruption.
Yeah, Acadian wants it, but I think Bjergsen dodged the ulti. Damage is now coming in from Bjergsen, who's hammering away with the Jace, but Keith gonna keep them out. Haunter needs to come and block in. They're gonna stack up together. There's 3.
Hold the last shot for as long as possible. Keep them zoned.
Bjergsen's like, whatever. Now perhaps Bifrost on the other hand.
Buy as much time for this death timer to come back up and for Acadian to back up. And then come back in. He got himself a Sterix as well. This has been a Graves build that we've been seeing a little bit more, especially in LCK and against Rengar in particular. But against an all AD team, still works.
Yep, Monster got knocked back, but turret's gonna fall. Gate getting low as well. You can see how much work the TSM poke elements can put in here. TSM, no, take another turret. That's good news for them, but might have to back before the next objective. Ocean Drake up in a minute 10, which feels pretty good on this team comp.
Yeah, it does. And Echo Fox down right now in terms of gold at 20 minutes. So TSM, they had that early lead. These have been eluding them a lot. They haven't been able to pick up too many in this split. It's been those comebacks off of team fighting and comebacks off of macro plays or Baron calls. So TSM, if they are able to actually close this one out in a good fashion against Echo Fox, that great early game team, and could bode well for them in this series.
Echo Fox.
Look for a pick.
Ooh, Bjergsen on the edge of night.
Yeah.
Make that a bit tricky.
Pop it anytime you're walking by Fog of War, just in case.
Gonna get taken off there by the smoke screen. Good setup there from Echo Fox, but Turtle does have his completed now as well, and they can play quite a bit more aggressively now with the spell shields up. Have to, of course, back off when they're not available, but they're up pretty often as it turns out.
Yeah, and for Wild Turtle, he has 2 kind of paths here. He could just say, I'm going to play it safe, go back to the poke pattern instead of walking up and hitting turrets, because you just poke people off the turrets instead of actually deal damage to it, and he won't have to purchase a QSS and risk getting caught out and just stay with the Edge of Night. Or if he does really want to damage the turrets, he'll go for the QSS. But I hope that he goes for something like a Last Whisperer right now. Starts looking for Looper damage, because that's what they have to fear.
TSM also a blind around Baron, I think, because they're pinging onto it. Drake's going to move down with Haunter and help him out on the Ocean Drake, so no jungler required for this one as the teams are splitting the map as far as objectives go. And Froggen is continuing to do work here on the top side. He's got a few friends. Gate's hoping somebody walks by for a quick burst combo. And it's sort of weird to see the map split this way, but good pressure from Froggen to take down a turret and get those turrets close to...
They aren't answering. Why TSM are answering so slowly on Froggen's top lane push. Trying to block the Lee Sin. 4, 5, give me another Void Link.
Don't have enough vision, they're going to make an aggressive play. Haunter coming in, good taunt onto Gate. Really nice pick. And now Bjergsen looking for Arcadian. He dashes over the wall. Chain of Corruption, Legend Bjergsen insta flashes on top of him. And there's a shot to over Turtle. 1004.
They're right at Baron. They decide to collapse. And then Froggen, he gets out. But then everybody else, here comes Looper.
Baron as well could be a bit of a problem. Keith gonna open up with the ultimate. There's one. Hits Bio.
Yeah, don't shoot them. Just wait. Zone them off.
Two hits Bio again.
Oh my God!
Stabbed him!
How?
Physics, dude.
Angelina Jolie, that man. Just wanted. Oh my God.
And TSM off the Baron. That's good news there for Keith.
He saved it.
He was just happy to poke him off it, but he'll take the kill as well. And now Froggen with the package might look to get real aggressive onto the minion wave. That's Froggen.
He went up. He's checking the bushes, thinking that they hit up there. But that's going to give them a turret. And Echo Fox, I believe they have a gold lead now. Just barely afterwards. They're back in this game. That's Keith actually saving the game.
Well, early game stats are going to take a bit of a fall. But Echo Fox now even things out, which they'll take.
If I'm Echo Fox, I'm okay with having those stats go down a little bit if my game record, my match record goes up.
I was going to say, you know what the best stat is, Zarian? Match record.
Match record. That's what gets you into playoffs. But look at this. Doing a Baron right now. They have the Malzahar. They have intense damage on it. This is actually getting shredded. They're going to get the TP out of Haunter.
TP in, and Baron is dead, I think. They need to get in and try and steal a Bifrost. No, he can't do it. Gate actually secures it, but he has to flash out of the way. So looking for a few more as Looper gets kicked out, canceling his ultimate, but TSM
doesn't get a follow.
Can't get anything. Haunts are going to try for something. Bjergsen looking for the poke, finds Froggen for a good chunk of damage, but it's only a chunk.
They got out. Echo Fox got the Baron. They got out. Now they're up in gold. They have the siege potential, and TSM's wave clear isn't that great. It's the poke tool. They can't poke you off the turret and clear out the wave simultaneously. It's so difficult to do, and Echo Fox has to be standing in like their caster minions for that to happen. So they play it right. This is going to be a rough few minutes here for TSM.
And we asked before the game, Echo Fox, they showed strong early game, but can they show us good closing ability? This is a great field for them to really demonstrate on.
And watch this. This is just the TP in to try and stop it. They've smite so early. That looked like it was a call for burst. Keith used the fourth shot right before. And then Looper goes over, but Svenskeren doesn't get the cue to follow. And even then, don't know how much he actually has to deal with it, because then everybody else has to follow. TSM are looking for a death brush here, but I actually think you have no business going that way right now if you're Echo Fox, because you can see Looper's on the bottom side of the map. Echo Fox is going to go top. Echo Fox is going to go top mid.
I mean, the other reason is that they don't have a reason to go through their jungle, because they want to get the lanes pushing anyway, so maybe trying to catch someone in an ambitious or greedy transition, but no one bites from Echo Fox. Haunter and Looper going to meet here. Bjergsen's actually around the side as well. Hitting the recall button. Looper going to rejoin his team now in mid lane. And
he's actually been so sneaky. He wasn't spotted by anybody there. And so this Poppy just shows up middle after being bottom. Avoids Bjergsen. Now they get some damage on this turret.
Yep.
Yep, they're going to try to 1-3-1 or 1-4 with Froggen and try to get these turrets, because the wave clear, like I said, from TSM, you have one champion that can really wave clear and do it effectively.
Good catch out from Froggen. Nice prediction from Bjergsen. Shock blasts him out of the Valkyrie, but tier 2 and mid down. 6 turrets to 5 now for Fox. They're actually up in turret for the first time in the game.
Yep. Getting those turrets, getting that gold lead, but now it's take the jungle. They're going to get the blue buff, they're going to get the red buff, they're going to try to starve out TSM and use some of this Baron timer instead of sieging turrets and pushing minion waves and denying the jungle and getting experience that way, because that's the cool thing about the jungle, and when you're ahead is, you know, you're actually taking experience away from your enemy. So Svenskeren 2 levels down now off of the Baron being taken for Acadian, but also his own jungle getting stolen away, denying him his own.
Fox positioned pretty nicely here, and they've built up a nice little Baron power play for themselves. 3,000 gold ahead already. Have an Infernal Drake that they can look at in a minute 30 as well, so should get a lot, both in total gold and objectives, if they continue to play it right. Bjergsen top lane right now trying to clear it out. Echo Fox, all attention on this bottom side of the map, as they did get some recalls in to try and be strong as possible for the next potential engage. TSM gonna have to wait it out a little while longer. Just over a quarter of the buff left for Fox. Running out pretty quickly, but they did some nice work there, and they'll end up out of the Baron take with a lead.
Acadian actually doing some housekeeping on the top side, clearing out.
Ooh, good knock up there. Haunter forced to flash away. Froggen came down, was trying to get something started.
It's strange that they're all split up. It's just Echo Fox, they're kind of doing nothing for a few seconds here, just trying to get summoner spells out. Acadian's topside farming his Krug, so he's like, oh, maybe that doesn't get taken when they do Drake, which is the next objective that's coming up. In 35 seconds, the Infernal Drake will be on the table. It would be the second one for Echo Fox. and it would definitely start propelling them further in this game. Baron buff,
Pretty much dropped off.
it's pretty much gone now. Acadian has it for a few seconds because he has the mastery. People who didn't know, Runic Affinity actually does increase the duration of Baron buff.
I did not know that. Today I learned. Thank you, Zairi.
Yep.
Old Turtle poking in. Got a little damage done there to Arcadian, but not too worried. Actually pretty tanky on the Graves. One of those things that's nice. You kind of naturally a little bit buffer on some other 80 carries. Froggen chilling out. Actually going back. I think it wants the package, but the Drake is up now. Froggen going to collect his jetpack and zoom down the mid lane. Looper's actually top as well. TSM are going to try and force onto this Infernal.
Yep, here comes Looper with the teleport. Damage actually slows. Acadian gets a few shots on it. Now Svenskaren's in the back of the pit. He's actually jumping out now.
He wants to steal it, I think. They're going to try. It
in.
Goes in, doesn't get it. Sven locked down by Gate. He's looking to fall down here and should go down.
Bio?
Almost goes down to Keith. Huge play from Keith, finding a way to take out the Zyra. Now Froggen all the way in. Redemption down. Svenskaren, he wants him so bad. He's going to get it. Froggen goes as deep as possible. Bjergsen can pay for it. Exhaust is down, but it's not enough. Arcadian, though, clean up. Great flash out of the taunt by Arcadian. Absolutely insane mechanics. And now Looper going to lock down the tank.
Watch out for Turtle
here as well. There's good damage. Haunter does get the tray kill in the end, and now Turtle could be caught out of position. Looper, we're going to take him down as Keith gets it instead. 4 dead on the side of TSM.
Echo Fox get the Infernal Drake. Now they have a wave that's pushing after, winning that fight. Big play from them, and they might actually be looking at getting a lot here. This will be a turret, maybe an inhibitor.
Gonna try and break the base.
We'll see. They don't have much of a minion wave. They have something, but Looper, he's going to tank it instead, and this is great. When you have a tank like this, walk up.
Yeah, Looper's just gonna dodge around, picks his shield back up, dashing through a minion.
No, they're actually not going to get it. They're a little bit afraid here.
Have enough. Haunter with a taunt finds Gate. Good damage, Haunter. Able to take him now. Bifrost flashing forward, barely catches Looper, but Looper with the ulti might save himself. Sven tags him with a Q, but Looper trying to stay alive and save the team. He will go down to Svenskaren, but he buys time for Keith.
Yeah, Looper had used the W there just to get movement speed, but that's when Svenskaren came forward, and then Looper's like, I have to turn. I have to make sure that, you know, he can't reach Keith. Otherwise, it doesn't matter because he wanted to use the W reactively. This here, again, Biofrost, I swear he's a magnet for this right here. It's like, Haunter can't block anymore. He's ultiing. And then Deathfire Touch is going to kill him, so Wild Turtle has to use heal. And then he gets sniped.
Great play there as Froggen.
The daring Bombardier, living up to his name there. Froggen gets the kill. Let's go, Lord Froggen.
Actually, maximum amount of cap close potential from Corgi.
Froggen actually hates being called a passive player or having a small champion pool. So he's made it a bit of a mission to be like, you know, people call him passive. He's like, did that look like a passive mid laner to you?
No, that looked like every possible movement cooldown used forward. And gets him a kill. Snipes Svenskaren in his own jungle from like 2 screens away. And Echo Fox continuing to look strong here. 3,500 gold up. Baron is back on the table. Where do the teams want to go for it? Svenskaren's got a dodge shot. Keith again. Biofrost better run. They're going to run out of the area though. Oh, Biofrost tagged again.
It just happens.
Keith just saves the last shot. I think you're right. I think he's got a big magnet in his forehead.
It's the worst. He got a target on his back, magnet in his forehead. It's getting worse every day.
Svenskaren got a GA, so he can afford to play pretty far forward. If he makes a big kick play here, especially with Looper out of the picture, could turn things around quickly for TSM. So certainly not out of it just yet.
Yeah, I like the GA purchase there. And something I've been noticing about Gates' build is it's not actually just that, it's not a damage Malzahar at all. It's just redemption, block it. He's building shields and heals for his team. As a champion that you typically see will buy like a Leandri's Torment to try and shred a tank, maybe even go for a Rylai's Crystal Scepter for the slow. So he's just trying to offer defenses for his team. Oh, it's interesting to see, especially since he's just trusting his 3 marksmen.
I mean, yep, they've got a lot of inbuilt damage already, so okay, very effective CC, but kind of only just that apart from the healing. Froggen clearing out a wave though, level 17 with 3 items and a Void Staff on the way. By the looks of that blasting one. So he's going to be doing an awful lot of damage on Corgi. Echo Fox just prepping, I think, trying to bait TSM towards the Baron. Once again, excellent vision control around the objective. Going to get the side overs kicking here as well. Froggen will take this one down.
Corki's just such a strong champion, and when teams get Jace in the mid lane, it's usually, you look at that and you go, man, that could have been a Corki, or maybe that should have been a Corki earlier. It's just rough, right? It brings the mixed damage, which the Jace doesn't. It brings exhaust without feeling bad about it. Jace, on the other hand, brings exhaust where sometimes he wants to bring the teleport. And so, you know, the draft ends up starting to hurt TSM a bit as Looper picks up all armor items.
Yep.
And even some for Acadian too. He's got an armor item and he's got 2 HP items. He's just trying to live. If you don't get poked out, you pretty much win that situation as Echo Fox.
Got 2 Infernals as well, so plenty of damage. As Froggen's got the package once again, might be looking for a play. Looper gonna go back, teleport available. Global's actually up on both sides, so those top laners will be ready to go if any fight is to break out. I'm curious to see Froggen the one in the bottom lane. Looks like he's gonna leave now and rejoin his team.
Yeah, he has package, so you treat package as if you have like a teleport cooldown up, or like you have a 1 minute I can teleport, so you just split push, and then you can join very quickly. Gives you out of combat movement speed as well.
Good block there from Gate. Another hard passive off, but happy to take that shot for his team. Baron is up. Checked by TSM.
Yep. Bait out the blues. Wait a second.
That's it. I mean, we can see that.
And then you go.
Yep, now they're going to go for it. Hunter trying to take a turret, but Fox just straight onto this Baron.
Svenskaren's on the backside.
Got snared. Echo Fox might want to pull away here. They're using the tanks only. Make sure the rest of the team doesn't take damage.
They don't have
going to go for it. He's in. Haunts is in as well.
Going for Acadian.
Acadian, they need to get him down. Redemption might keep him alive. Keep getting chunked as well. Bifrost almost dies on the other end. Baron goes down. Echo Fox secure it. And now Sven's going to leap out of the way, but the shutdown is on the key.
Panzer
get a decently trade there. Sven's got to get his way out of the trouble. Turtle still firing onto Acadian. Looking for a few more. Haunter getting chased down and barely anyone going down. Just keep the kill for now. Both teams incredibly low. Turtle, oh, look for it again. Not going to find it.
Oh, on a knife's edge right there. And here comes Acadian running down the mid lane. And if they start to do Cloud Drake, like, Acadian has a Potion of Wrath. He can just clear this wave out. He's going to go forward. He has Baron buff. So he has options now. He can go find them at Cloud Drake if he wants to. He can go top lane, try to push that in. I think he goes mid. And there's the TP from Looper.
Yeah.
Looper's going to try to split push. They might try to get a turret.
I mean, Bifrost can't do anything. This wave is massive. And Echo Fox have the Baron buff. That turret's going to go down. Incredibly forward-thinking play from Looper. Gonna have to back off now, but he kind of breaks it open in an unconventional way, which is exactly what Echo Fox needed.
Exactly, and now they have mid lane priority and top lane priority, so they can go back and forth between these with the Baron buff that they have. Whenever there's a cannon minion, just push up, deal some damage to the turret, don't get caught by the Shen, and you should be good. They're doing this even without Keith there.
And when he gets there, he's gonna have the ultimate ready. Not quite rank 3 just yet. Poke onto Arcadian's nice. But again, just healing it up. Starrick's gonna proc. But that turret's almost dead, just needs a couple more shots. Echo Fox get a little eager for it, but Wild Turtle burns the ultimate.
That was a good Voidling as well from Gate. It actually blocked Svenskaren's Q, and that may have been a Q onto Acadian that would get a kickback and possibly a kill there since he was low. But Acadian's gonna back off, and here they go, they open, they try to get this turret by pushing him off.
Ooh, poke on a Turtle, big poke,
oh,
he's almost gonna go down. That's gonna be a kill, Sven in the back, looking for Keith, they will take him down on the back line as Sven managed to assassinate him. Turret's gonna get broken as Echo Fox, now gonna turn the fight around. Looper slams Haunter into a wall, that's gonna be a kill, I think. Haunter barely living, but not for much longer. Bifrost now down as well, uses the ultimate and tries to kill Arcadian. But that's 4 kills for Echo Fox as now they're moving forward.
Ah, and there's the dead redemption there from Gate, just healing him up. Maybe they can end off of this. I don't think they have enough minion waves.
They're gonna try to do as much damage as possible though, pinging onto that bottom side turret.
Look at that wave bottom. That's a huge wave that they want to crash in. But now they're kind of push and pulled between. Looper is gonna have to zone Bjergsen, stop him from getting in.
Bjergsen needs to kill some of these carries, but they do so much damage. Bjergsen needs the 1v3. Froggen gets out of the way. Great block from Looper. There's the end for Echo Fox, and they're gonna take down the Nexus. Echo Fox, they do the unthinkable and take down TSM.
Even week Echo Fox, 2-0 again. And they take down the second place team. Echo Fox are now tied for 5th place. If the season ends now, they are a playoff team.
They're 4-0 for the weekend, correct? That's it. Odd numbered series I can't lose. Can't win a 3-game series. That doesn't come with the story.
2-0 against CLG, 2-0 against TSM. Echo Fox, for the first time since this organization was formed, they said they were a summer split team back in spring. Now we're looking at spring 2017. and they already look like they are a spring split team for this year.
Took them a little longer than maybe they'd like. Needed an extra split to kind of work out some of the kinks, but they look incredible.
Yeah, and that's the thing as well, is their early game stats are consistent. This game, they played from a deficit. They played it pretty safe at first, and then it was explosive. They made those Baron gambits. They worked. Looper is synergizing with the team way better now, and I'm loving what I'm seeing from both Acadian and Froggen and that synergy between them. And that was, honestly, if you were watching that game as an Echo Fox fan, that is something to get really excited about, because this team looks good.
I think so as well. Unsung hero, it might even be Keith there. I mean,
He saved it.
How often have we seen that Echo Fox's all five players have played consistently well throughout a game, in a game where they weren't just smashing in the early game? Game one, you can almost write it off. They did their thing, they got an early game lead, and they just closed effectively, playing very aggressively, and just smashed TSM.
Yeah.
You can do that to almost any team, but to play a closer game, to have to play more macro versus a team that has incredible map movement, is known for macro play, strong team fighting, and good comebacks, that's something else.
Yep, and that's the thing as well, is like you look at it and you go, man, Echo Fox, they played a really solid series just as a whole. That series was really well played by them against TSM, who's sitting at number 2, right? Second place team, that's going to knock them down a little bit pending the results of the following matchup with Cloud9 and FlyQuest. So we'll see if that actually knocks TSM down to 3rd. But Echo Fox, well, they're getting into those top slots. They had those early games that look so consistent from them, but this team, they're coming together, and this is scary for the rest of the league, especially those people at the bottom who are like, maybe we can pass Echo Fox. You're going to have to be really good to do that right now.
Yeah, I have to think so. Seem to be on the heels of a lot of these top teams. And again, the way in which they're doing it, starting to evolve a little more. First few weeks, it was just aggression after aggression. That was winning them some of their games. Playing better, I mean, talk about improvement week after week for every team. Echo Fox seem to be taking that very seriously.
Which is so cool to like think about too, because people were talking about how they aren't getting scrims. It's like, then we're gonna make our own meta, you know, with Blackjack and Thresh.
Yeah.
And then they're gonna be all
Nivea,
great.
woo! Yeah.
And then Nivea, and they're gonna add all this other stuff, and they're Camille support. So it's so hard to draft for Echo Fox, and so they're using this thing that would be a weakness for a lot of teams in terms of practice. They have their sister team. I know that they actually scrim some other teams in the LCS that they've been getting scrims recently, but they're keeping a lot hidden. They're keeping a lot underneath the hood, and people aren't really getting a good glimpse into how they operate yet, but they're definitely improving without those other teams helping them out.
I mean, if they're trying to make a statement, they're doing a good job at it. But for more on that Echo Fox win, let's check in with Kobe and their first Blood King.
That's right. I'm here with Acadian. Congratulations on your victory. You guys are off to a pretty good swing here now. One thing that you said when you came into the league, as a rookie, you definitely wanted to be proactive. You didn't want to be one of these scared rookies not making plays, and you definitely showed that here today. How are you guys feeling after this victory?
It feels pretty good. It feels like we played together. In the second game, felt really good because we didn't just stomp the early game like usual, and we just played together well after that. So it felt really good to win. I don't know.
And you guys were actually confident even coming into this match, which says something, because these are the defending champions, definitely formidable opponents. What are the changes going on inside of your team as far as your improvements from the beginning of the season until now in the mid-season?
I'd say it's just communication, mostly. Communication and understanding how each other want to play the game, the best way to play. I think our communication week 1 was pretty poor. And that's basically the only thing we've been focusing. Well, not the only thing, but that's a big part of what we've been focusing on. Is just
well, it definitely shows. I also wanted to ask you one question about the current jungle meta, because you look very comfortable on Graves. I know you put a lot of time in on that champion. How do you feel about the overall pool of jungle champions right now, though?
I think for competitive, jungle's pretty OP role, to be honest. Like any champion you pick up, or most champions can just completely take over the game if you play well enough. And I think I really enjoy it just because I can do that. So, yeah, that's what I think.
All right. Well, congratulations again on your victory. We're going to send it back over to the guys now.
Thank you very much, Kobe. Great great interview. I was going to say analysis. That's our job.
Yeah, that's what we do.
We're smart. We kicked out Jat. Now it's only 2 great brains here in this one.
Give me more time to talk.
Absolutely. You're basically a Zale in training. It's beautiful. Just lose your hair, and I can't tell you apart. Speaking as a bald person myself. Anyway, let's start by talking about the fact that Wild Turtle got number 1,000. Pace Time spent some time casting every single one that he got afterwards.
And the best part was, of course, the air horn going nuts during this. But overall, a great play set up by Sven Skaren, who's one of the best leads in NA, of course, and a good collapse by the bot lane. Turtle able to get in range to finish this off. You saw Sven try and take it away.
He almost got
unable to do so. And then he picks up his next couple kills shortly thereafter off the back of a dive that they set up using You know, there it is, the great Turtle.
Yep.
Pointing at you, the fans. Thanks for supporting him over the years.
It's all you're doing.
Yeah, but
And now
overall,
he's the record setter. He's like at 1,000 and something.
Every time now that he gets a kill, you can say a new record.
I will continue to do that. I will, every single play I ever have of World Tour getting a kill for the rest of the year, new record every time.
Right, I look forward to that.
It's not going to be annoying or anything. All right, let's get to the game at hand, what actually happened here. We're going to start with picks and bans because there was some criticism. The casters had it, you had it as well, I have it, on how TSM prioritized champions. We look at the pick ban phase overall. Okay, you know, bans make general sense, and then kind of run through what you care about here.
Yeah, so obviously target some junglers against Acadian. He's really the big threat on Echo Fox in terms of the early game. Tom Kench is something they use as well. Echo Fox was going for the more standard bans, but they also throw in the Ivern as well, targeting Sven's best jungler. First pick Varus on blue side, no surprise. That's kind of the standard things. And from there, it's mostly falls out normal with Malzahar being grabbed, followed by the Jhin, and then the Zyra Shen obviously being the other priority picks, TSM liking the Shen a lot, and then the Corki grabbed for Froggen, trying to prevent some kind of mid pinch at all and maybe get one on to TSM. Where things get interesting is we see TSM target the top lane again in their second ban phase, like game one, but this time throw the Singed in there as well. We see the mid focus from Echo Fox. They end up grabbing Graves next, the jungler that they're most comfortable with, which is a great pick, followed lastly by Jace and Lee. So this is where the draft really gets interesting. The Jace pick is actually more to protect the Shen. We saw CLG do this as well, where they say, okay, our Shen's kind of exploited. If they take the Jace pick, we'll take that early. And then with that, you have a really physical damage team comp, and then they take Lee.
Jace, Varus, right? Okay, you've got a Zyra there, kind of, and that's kind of something. Of course, obviously, Shen's low damage. But right, and so the debate we had is you wanted to see Elise here. Right? You wanted to see a heavy magic damage jungler. And the debate in my mind is this, right? Is like, obviously, he's much more comfortable on Lee Sin, right? The early game lead TSM got was because of his Lee Sin, his mechanics Lee Sin. He's just better at the champion. And if you are playing a poke team, which I would say this is a pretty big poke team, and you're
mostly,
he's a better disengaged champion, right? If they're trying to jump on you with a Poppy, ha! Out she goes, and you don't get your backline killed. And I think that's relevant, right? That's valuable, but it means you've got to snowball. Their early game lead has to happen. You've got to keep going from there, and you've got to keep the game in your favor.
Absolutely, and when we talk about TSM, we're not talking about a team that has great early games or like even decisive mid games. They're a team that's extremely mechanically proficient and doesn't make big mistakes. But that's not necessarily a comp that you want to run that with, where you're just, okay, well, we'll just, you know, outscale them or something. This is a team that needs to snowball early, and despite the great early game that we saw Sven, when they started grouping around mid game, they weren't clean enough, and there were a couple of close fights that Echo Fox took. Echo Fox also, to give them some credit, made some smart calls where they were swapping the top side instead of contesting dragons. Those kinds of things stalled out long enough for their comp to become much stronger.
Right, and that's, you know, credit to Echo Fox, of course, for trading objectives instead of fighting for ones when you've got gold deficits. Here we've got a replay of Keith with his, like,
hero play.
I think his first of 2 solo kills against Biofrost as they struggle to dodge and block the bullets and they can't do it, and just gets him on the shoulder.
Yeah, and this was right after that TSM had collapsed on that top side and gotten a free pick. So you're scared here, oh, if we take this Baron, maybe this is exactly what we need to snowball like they needed to do. But once they got shoved off, Echo Fox make a great call to reforce on the Baron, and they pick it up for free. And from there, that's when you're looking at this comp from TSM, and you say, okay, they're down 2K gold. Can they ever kill Poppy without, like, you know, 30 seconds of free hitting him or something?
And that's what kind of struck me then as we get into the late game, where it's like, you know, what if TSM sack farm on Turtle and let Biofrost farm and be a legit Zyra mage? Like, yeah, you're going Sork Shoes, you're getting Leandries, and you're getting a Void Staff third. And we're going to say, Biofrost, that damage number, instead of 15K, let's make that 25K, and maybe that makes a difference here.
Right, potentially. I mean, I think you can also look at TSM's overall play over the course of this game and say that was not up to par either. Because even if you put in the Elise there or something, would Echo Fox have just run away with the early game? Because we saw Acadian invading early, right? So there was a lot of factors here. It's hard to know what the right decision was, but ultimately Echo Fox played the game out better and had a great team comp as well.
Yeah, that is what it comes down to. Echo Fox played better as a team. They improved to 4-4 as a result. TSM, of course, their second match loss. And props have to be given finally to Keith in the bot lane for Echo Fox, player of the game. And I think it was close. He had some slightly ugly deaths, but the fact that he was the sole reason they got the Baron. He won them a lot of team fights. His snipes were super on point. I've got to give him the respect. I think he deserved it.
Right. I mean, this is a great game from him. And, of course, the whole of Echo Fox, I think, is a great story because of how they've changed their identity so much since last year, where they were this passive team that would sit back and not get much done. And now they have the best early game in the lead. And even this week showing some resilience in terms of coming back in games as well.
Right. So, I mean, I got to say, Echo Fox fans can feel really good about that one. Everyone can just yell Rick Fox in their solo queue games and know that you're backed by a team who's in playoff position right now at this point.
Why wait till solo queue? Do it right now.
That's true. Rick Fox! And everyone can learn from Keith McBrief.
All right.
And it's like the #1 chant in esports behind TSM, so that makes it #2. Either way, great games from Echo Fox, a great match win for them as well, and now we're going to have more league action coming your way. Team Dignitas is going to hit the Rift up against Team Envy next, so don't go anywhere.
I'm like pretty much deaf.
Yeah, you are.
You're pretty much deft? Yeah, deft.
Yeah, bro.
Deaf.
Yeah.
Turtle gonna try and follow it up. He does have ulti. Gate's gonna flash. Ooh, Chain Corruption's gonna miss. The exhaust is down as well. Gonna keep chasing for it. Should be a kill. Turtle. That's his 1000th kill.
There it is. 1,000 kills for Turtle.
Good way to start it off there for Wild Turtle. Katie forced back away. They're gonna go in onto Looper. Stranglethorn's down after the roof. Looper on the flank for Turtle. 1002.
This is on me. I'm dead, I'm dead. I'm below, Kevin, I'm below. I got him. Cut down. Oh. Yeah, get out. Get up.
Turret's gonna get broken as Echo Fox. Now gonna turn the fight around. Looper slams Haunter into a wall. That's gonna be a kill, I think. Haunter barely living, but not for much longer. Firefrost now down as well. Uses the ultimate and tries to kill Arcadian. Echo Fox, they do the unthinkable and take